All right, welcome in everybody for day 4 of the advent of cyber. Today we are going to continue on with the advent of cyber done by TryHackme.com. In this task we are going to do scanning. So today's task, day 4, is scanning through the snow. So we're going to go through and read the quick story, go through what scanning is, what scanning types are, what the techniques and the tools are. Should be pretty fast, and then we'll get out of here. So continuing with the story, during the investigation of the downloaded GitHub repo that we did in day 3, Elf Recon McCready identified a URL, the qa.santagift.shop, that is probably used for all elves with admin privileges to add or delete gifts on the Santa website. The website has been pulled down for maintenance, and now Recon McCready is scanning the server to see how it has been compromised, and they want to know, can we help McCready scan the network and find the reason why the site was compromised? Let's take you over to the screen and let's go through this. So here's a story I just read out to you. I've gone ahead and started the attack machine. It takes a couple minutes to load, but we want to do that so we're not here forever. Our objectives today, of course, are going to be what is scanning, scanning types, scanning techniques, and the tools that we use to scan. So what is scanning? Scanning is a set of procedures for identifying live host ports and services, discovering the operating system of the target, and identifying vulnerabilities and threats in the network. These scans are typically automated, and they can give insight to what could be exploited. Scanning reveals parts of the attack surface for attackers and allows launching targeted attacks to the exploited system. I'm not going to go through and read all of the different types. There's a passive scan, an active scan, different types of techniques, network scanning, port scanning, vulnerability scanning. Some of the tools we use to do this, one of the main ones is network mapping, or Nmap. It's a popular tool used to carry out port scanning, discovery protocols. It identifies running services on a machine or on machines on the network. You can learn more. Let's see, it says in here you can learn more by using the Nmap room, Nmap live host discovery, and so forth. TryHackme has a great room for Nmap. So let's see what they want us to do. Deploy the virtual machine by clicking Start Machine at the top right. We've already done that. It's over here. It's on. We've already set up our attack box, and we're on. We can use Nmap. So let's go through real quick. First things first, what do we want to do? We want to open up the terminals. Let's go ahead and open up a terminal. And we can go through all these. Before we go through that, let's go down and see what our objectives are for today. So we need to answer the following questions. What is the name of the HTTP server running on the remote host? What is the name of the service running on port 22 of the QA server? What's the flag? And then what is the password for the username SantaHR? All right, so let's go back up to our task. First things first, what we want to do is we want to find out what the name of the HTTP server running on the remote host is. Let's find out what our IP address is of our... Where's it at? It should be... There we go. Here's our IP address. Okay, so a couple of things with Nmap. We have tons and tons of different arguments you can use when you use Nmap. The first argument we're going to use is going to be the -s, lowercase s, uppercase s. That's considered a stealthy scan. So let's go ahead and run that real quick. And then the IP address of the machine. Oop, not 380. Let's do 80. So we're running a quick scan, and this is what we get back. So our Nmap report shows we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 ports that show that they're open. These are typical ports you see: port 22, port 80, port 139, and 445. 22 is running the service of SSH or Secure Shell. Looks like port 80 is our web server, HTTP. And then these following two are going to be dealing with file sharing or files. I believe 445 is Samba. So let's go ahead and see. So we've scanned it. We see our service is running. What's it say we need to do next? We can do a ping scan. Ping scan allows us to see a live host, without going deeper into checking ports and so forth. So instead of just typing in ping 10.10.30.80, what we could do is we can come over here and run nmap and do a hyphen, let's see, what did they have? SN, and that's just to ping it, and we'll get back just a normal ping saying that that host is available and alive. We also have an operating system scan that allows us to find out what operating system's running. And then we also have a detecting services scan, where we can get a list of running services on the host. So for this one, let's go ahead and run nmap -sv, so lowercase s, because we're going to do a scan, and we're going to do a versioning scan. Let's find out what is running on this server. So 10.10.30.80. And if you spell it wrong, of course it'll tell you. So we'll let this run, and it should come back with some type of versioning of everything running on this server. There we go. Let's open this up a little bit. Okay. Let me see if I can pull this down and kind of show more. So in our first run, what did we do? We did nmap and we did -ss, which is going to scan the SYN part of the three-way handshake, and that's just going to return the ports. Now down here, what we did is we ran s-v, and what that does is that will return their same ports, but it's also going to show us the version. So we've got here, we now see SSH, looks like it's open SSH 7.6, running on Ubuntu. We've got port 80, looks like we've got an Apache server running on this server, 2.4.29. And then it looks like 139 and 445 are both running Samba. Let's scroll back down. Can we get our answer here? Okay, so what is the name of the HTTP server running on the remote host? So the server name is Apache. So the Apache server. So let's try this. All right, got that one right. All right, what's the next? What is the name of the service running on port 22 on the QA server? So we already talked about that. The service on port 22 is SSH or Secure Shell. Now what Secure Shell does, it allows people to remote into those servers or into the server using a command line. Let's go ahead and type that in, SSH, and we'll submit. Got it right. All right, now let's see if we can find the flag. So what flag can you find after successfully accessing the Samba service? Okay, so let's take a look at this real quick. The Samba service is actually a service used to view files. So how would you go about viewing a file? The easiest way is to open up in Windows, you'd open up a file explorer. In this one, we're just gonna open up folders. We'll just go into the root home. And see at the top, we've got /root, and now we get to see all of our different folders in here and our files. And look at this, we've got pictures. Look at a TryHackme picture. But if we wanted to connect to the server and check out that server's files, how would we go about doing that? Well, we have the IP address. So SMB or Samba is a protocol that we can use as a service that we can use. So let's try this. SMB. And then let's put in the IP address. What was our IP address here? There it is. 10.10.30.80. Oh, look. So now we're connected to the server, and we see the file shares. And that's without any passwords or anything. We're able to view these folders. Now, the tricky part is can we actually view the folders? You can see the folders are there, but can we actually get into those? So if we double-click on this Samba share, it looks like it's asking us for a password. Let's cancel it. Can we get to the printers? No. So we need a password. Let's check out admins. Same thing. So what we're going to do, we're going to need a password. So let's continue reading on. Let's connect to the Samba server using the credentials we found through the source code. Remember, we found these credentials last time in the source code that we found on GitHub. So we're connected. So let's go ahead and try and use the Ubuntu Santa 2022. So let's go to the admins folder. And we're not going to do it anonymously. We're going to do it as a registered guest. Let's see, Ubuntu. Leave the domain workgroup as default, and then Santa 2022. And we'll go ahead and say remember the password. We'll connect. Ooh, look, didn't like it. Let's try again. Maybe I typed something in wrong here. UBUNT. What is our password? Password is SANTA2022. There we go. Now we're in. Okay. So it looks like we've got two files in here. So in real life, more than likely what we've just done by doing our OSINT on day 3, we've now got passwords that allow us to get into this server. So more than likely what could have happened is somebody got a hold of our passwords from our GitHub repo and were able to get onto our server. So let's go ahead and check out what we've got for the flag. Looks like THM_Santa_SMB_server. Let's go see if we can copy and paste this. That didn't work, did it? All right, type it in. _Santa _SMB _server. I'm gonna fix my headset. Go ahead and hit submit. Boom, got the right answer. Okay, so now what's the next one we're looking for? What is the password for the username SantaHR? Well, there was another file in there. It looks like here's a user list. This is a common thing I see on networks all the time. And that is users will create, not necessarily a text file, but they'll create a Word or an Excel spreadsheet that has and contains all their usernames and all of their passwords. Number one, you're putting a file that has all your usernames and passwords on your machine. But they don't even go as far as to lock that actual document. So now you've got a document on your network that's got all the usernames and passwords of that person. Not a smart thing. That's why I tell everybody to use a password manager. Okay, let's go ahead and open this up, see what we got for users. So we got a username, password list. Looks like we've got Santa 01. Santa HR, the password is Santa25. So what are they saying? The password for username Santa HR looks like for Santa HR, it's going to be Santa25. So let's see if we get that right. And that clears out everything for today. So running back through real quick, what did we learn from today? We learned how to do a quick in-map scan, learned a couple of the flags on there. One of the big flags you can use if you've never used in-map, you can always use by just typing in map itself. It'll give you a whole bunch of different flags you can use. You can also type in nmap-help or -h. That'll give you the same thing. I believe you can type in nmap man, and that'll get, oh, there's a man. There he goes. And that'll give you the whole manual of how nmap can be used. So that's our nmap. We discussed a couple of ports. We discussed port 22. We discussed port 80, which runs web servers. We discussed port 139 and 445, which run Samba file sharing, which is what we were able to get into by just going into our folders and typing at the top SMB colon, oop, I heard that cut out, SMB colon / 10.10.30.80, or the IP address that we have, and then we're able to navigate into, that way we're able to navigate into the actual files. Now we should be able to get into everything. Look, we've got Sambas on here. Lastly, since we were able to navigate into, we were able to get our flags by using the passwords that we got from the day before when we were looking at the GitHub. And because we were able to get in there, we were able to get our flag, and we were also able to get our username and password. So that's it for today. Tomorrow is day number 5. We'll wait and see what they have in store for us then. Until then, see everybody next time.